Imagine being 22, broke, sleeping on a couch, and everyone around you saying you'll never make it. Every door you knock on slams shut in your face. Every dream you have feels completely impossible. You feel the weight of the world on your shoulders, and the future looks like a long, dark tunnel with no light at the end. But what if I told you that one decision, one single moment of clarity could change everything? What if the key to unlocking your entire future was already inside you, just waiting for you to turn it? This is Alex. He grew up in a small, quiet town in Ohio, the kind of place where everyone knows your name and your family's story. His family wasn't wealthy. In fact, they struggled just to pay the bills. He watched his parents work grueling 12-hour days, coming home exhausted, only to realize they were still falling behind. The stress was a constant presence in their home, a quiet hum of anxiety that never went away. Alex saw their sacrifice, their endless effort, and he knew he wanted something more for his life. But every time he tried to reach for it, the world seemed to slap his hand away, telling him no. He tried everything he could think of. He flipped burgers at a fast food joint, the smell of grease clinging to his clothes long after his shift ended. He took on odd jobs mowing lawns, painting fences, anything to make a few extra bucks. He even cleaned floors late at night, the echo of his footsteps the only sound in the empty building. He worked harder than anyone he knew, but nothing seemed to stick. It was like running on a treadmill, putting in all the effort but going nowhere. At 23, Alex hit rock bottom. It was a cold winter night, the kind that seeps into your bones. He was sitting alone on that lumpy, borrowed couch, staring at the ceiling, feeling the full weight of his failures. The silence in the room was deafening. In that moment of complete despair, a profound realization washed over him. Finally understood. I couldn't just sit here and wait for life to give me a chance. I have to make my own chance. He couldn't rely on luck or someone else to save him. He had to save himself. That night, everything shifted. He made a promise, not to anyone else, but to himself. He would stop waiting for opportunities to fall into his lap. He would stop listening to the doubters. He would fight for his dream, no matter how impossible it seemed. He got out an old dusty notebook and started writing. He wrote down his goals, his fears, his plan. The next morning, he was up before the sun, running through the quiet streets, his breath fogging in the cold air. He worked his day job, and then he worked on his dream late into the night, fueled by a newfound determination. He was no longer just surviving, he was building. Alex discovered a truth that most people ignore, a truth that separates the dreamers from the doers. Success isn't about luck. It's not about being born into the right family or getting a lucky break. It's about discipline, relentless persistence, and a powerful mindset. He spent every spare hour he had glued to his computer screen, devouring online tutorials. He learned about marketing, business strategy, and self-development. He read books, listened to podcasts, and studied the stories of people who had built something from nothing. Every penny he managed to save, he didn't spend on distractions. He invested it in his dream course, a book, a piece of software. He was all in. And then, as it always does when you're pushing your limits, failure hit. And it hit hard. He launched his first small venture, and it flopped. He reached out to potential clients, and they rejected him, one after another. He invested money he couldn't afford to lose, and he lost it. There were days he felt like a complete fraud, days when the thought of quitting was a sweet relief. He was tired, broke, and full of doubt. But Alex did not quit. He made a crucial mental shift. Every failure was no longer a dead end, it was a lesson. Every rejection, every no, didn't crush him, it fueled his fire. It became evidence that he was trying, that he was in the arena. He got smarter, he refined his approach, learned from his mistakes, and kept moving forward, inch by painful inch. Then one day, after months of this relentless grinding effort, an email notification popped up on his screen. He had landed his first client. Just one. It was proof. Proof that his effort wasn't for nothing. Proof that it was possible. That one client grew into his first real business. From there, everything, absolutely everything, changed. Fast forward 3 years. The man who was once cleaning floors to survive was now running a thriving online business from a modern, light-filled office. The man who couldn't get anyone to believe in him was now hiring his first employees, giving others the chance he had fought so hard for. He moved out of his friend's apartment and into a new home of his own. He even started speaking on stages, sharing his story, and mentoring others who were just starting their own journey. The same people who once doubted him, who told him he was dreaming too big, were now coming to him, asking for his advice. But the biggest change wasn't the money or the status. It was something deeper. It was the unshakable confidence he had built, the resilience forged in the fires of failure, and the profound, unshakable belief in himself. He knew, down to his very core, that he could face any challenge and overcome it. Alex's story proves a simple, powerful truth. You don't need anyone's permission to succeed. You don't need a lucky break from the universe. What you need is grit, the patience to play the long game, and the raw courage to take that terrifying first step. So, what's stopping you? What's that voice in your head telling you? Is it the fear of failure? Is it the fear of what other people will think or say? I want you to remember this. Every single successful person you admire, every hero you look up to, once felt hopeless. Every one of them faced setbacks, rejections, and moments where they wanted to give up. The only difference between them and those who quit? They didn't. They learned. They adapted. Kept going, even when it was hard, especially when it was hard. Your journey doesn't have to start with a giant leap. Take one small step today. It's just one. Learn one new skill from a YouTube video. Write down your plan in a notebook, just like Alex did. Commit to the grind for just 1 week. Make a promise to yourself right now. I will not give up on my dream. Your story is waiting to be written, and who knows? Your story could be the next one that changes someone else's life. Thanks for watching. If this inspired you, hit that subscribe button, because your time is now.